Greetings all, Ferrariman601 here. Back a couple of months ago, when we did our proper review of the Ferrari SF70H, we were not able to talk about it in its entirety as a complete entity because, for the first time in Assetto Corsa history, Kunos offered us a current spec Ferrari Formula One car during the time in which it was still competing. Now, with the end of the 2017 season, we can appreciate the SF70H in a more retrospective perspective. Therefore, let's talk about the SF70H, let's talk a little bit about the 2017 season for Ferrari, and maybe let's start to divine this car's place in Ferrari history and what it means to be here with us in Assetto Corsa. Over the course of the 20 rounds of the 2017 Formula One World Championship, the SF70H entered all 20 rounds. It won 5 races, it scored 20 podium positions, it set 5 pole positions, and scored 7 fastest laps. There is the complete competition history of this car in the hands of Vettel and Raikkonen. This car was absolutely earth-shattering when it came to Assetto Corsa because, as I said, it was the current Ferrari Formula One car. That has never happened before, and it may well never happen again. So it absolutely was an unheard-of opportunity for all of us to drive the current factory Ferrari while it was still competing out there in the real world. History will be the ultimate judge of Ferrari's 2017 season. Was it their championship to lose? Perhaps you can say yes, perhaps you can say no. Ferrari were certainly fighting from the back all through 2017. They were coming back from absolutely abysmal seasons in 2014, 2015, and 2016. And 2017, winning the Australian Grand Prix, the opening round, certainly did signal that Ferrari were coming back. Sebastian Vettel definitely was ready to challenge for the World Championship. And Ferrari, at the start of the season anyway, definitely looked like they had the better of Mercedes. However, as the season developed, we soon came to realize that Mercedes were not off the boil. Lewis Hamilton certainly was still rearing to go, and in the end, Lewis Hamilton is now a 4-times world champion, equaling Sebastian Vettel. 2 4-times champions on the grid, that has never happened before. However, with Ferrari being strong at the start of the year, expectations were high everywhere from everyone, and Maranello, they failed to deliver on those expectations, it must be said. So where does that leave us with the SF70H here in Assetto Corsa? Is it a car that we're going to forget about? Is it a car that we're going to drive and appreciate for what it is, a Ferrari Formula One car? I'm not entirely certain. In my videos, I have already deputized the SF70H with some alter ego liveries, if you will, running the car in some different setup specs, doing some testing, things like that. It's even been a stand-in for an Alfa Romeo Formula One car in one of my short videos. But the SF70H, it is an absolutely great car. I love the thing. I've done a lot of mileage in it since we've all gotten our hands on it. We've all been figuring out how this thing works, how to extract the ultimate pace from it, and certainly all of that is quite valuable. Does it lose any provenance being that it has not won the World Championship? Maybe a little bit. But, again, it is a Ferrari Formula One car, and it takes its rightful place alongside the F2004, now offered natively by Kunos, as well as alongside the other great third-party Ferrari F1 mods that are out there. Not to mention, it does act as the centerpiece of the Kunos Ferrari road and race car lineup offered here natively. With all that said, how is this car going to age? I don't really know. It's somewhat of a new topic to talk about how a car is going to age in sim racing, looking at Assetto Corsa's car lineup. There are a few cars in here which have been out for the entirety of Assetto Corsa's market life. I'm talking about the Ferrari F40, for example, and that car is legendary, and we still see it quite a lot bouncing around the internet. So if the F40 is anything to go off of, I think we're going to see a lot of the SF70H running around here on YouTube, at least, in the years to come through the rest of Assetto Corsa's life cycle. With that said, is it a little bittersweet? Yeah, I do think so. It would have been very, very nice if Ferrari could have won that World Championship this year and we could have driven the Constructors' Championship winning car, but it simply was not to be. I think in that regard, perhaps it's comparable to VRC's McLaren MP420. That was another car that really was very good. They had two drivers in that car that were very competitive, and Raikkonen almost won the World Championship back in 2005. Yet, McLaren failed to secure either the Drivers' or Constructors' Championship. Yet, we're all still swooning over VRC's McLaren MP420, and with good reason. Is the SF70H in that same category? I'd like to believe so. It wasn't the best car of 2017. At the beginning of the season, yes, it certainly was a force to be reckoned with, but at the end there, when it really counted, Ferrari's brain trust and infrastructure just could not deliver. Sebastian Vettel had a spark plug failure at the Japanese Grand Prix. A spark plug, a part that takes 2 minutes to install, a part that is not the most expensive thing in the world. It failed. And you could argue that that cost Sebastian Vettel the World Championship. You could also argue that Sebastian Vettel himself cost himself the World Championship with what happened at the start in Singapore. Any one variable could be removed from the balance of Ferrari's 2017 season, and perhaps we could have seen them in the Constructors' Championship winning position. Is it possible that I'm wrong? Sure. Is it possible that I'm right? Sure. Nobody really knows. And that's the really fun part of speculative history. What if is the ultimate question that everybody asks, no matter what it is in life, and certainly there are a lot of what-if moments surrounding the SF70H and Ferrari's 2017 season. However, it is what it is at this point. Ferrari finished second in the Constructors' Championship behind Mercedes, who definitely did an absolutely great job. Lewis Hamilton wins the Drivers' Championship. Again, he did an absolutely great job. Was Sebastian Vettel not up to the challenge? Hardly. Sebastian Vettel definitely was able to win that World Championship, but factors of his own errors plus the team letting him down, just like anything in motorsport, it is the combination of the car and the driver. It's a combination of the team and the driver together forming that united front to win the World Championship. Ferrari did not quite have that balance right in 2017, and the history books will show that it was a strong start, but it was not meant to be. However, the SF70H, as I said, it's still a fantastic car, and let's just remind ourselves a little bit as to why this car is so fantastic. We'll see you on track in a moment. Welcome to Mugello. This car looks absolutely great here, just sitting here in the pit lane in the normal daylight. The season is over. Ferrari did not win the World Championship, nor did Sebastian Vettel. All of that is decided. The SF70H's place in history is now cemented. However, what's it mean for us in Assetto Corsa? Has the car's loss of the World Championship really detrimented it at all? From a driving perspective, from an enjoyability perspective? Absolutely not. Let's go talk about why. Got the car fired up. We'll zero out all of our settings here on the MGU for our install lap. Let's move away. On to the racetrack. Up and down through the box. All the gears are where they should be. Start working on some heat in the brakes and tires. We're not up to full operating temperature yet on the tires yet. The grip is already absolutely extraordinary. You know me, I like a pointy car. This thing is definitely pointy. Just turn the wheel and you're in the corner. Gearbox is so quick. The downshifts are basically seamless. The upshifts are 100% seamless. Let's punch up some MGU recovery. Our MGU-H back to motor, get some deployment, ERS open, and let's fly down the straight here at Mugello. in our very own 2017 Works Ferrari. Down into turn 1, braking at about 100 meters. Drive the car deep into the corner because you've got a lot of camber to help you, and now immediately you get into this technical bit of the rest of Sector 1. Front axle working nicely. Back end working nicely as well. Traction is absolutely wonderful. Sector 2, 8th gear, flat out, don't lift, no need to lift. On the brakes. Nice exit there. Mugello is a wonderful circuit for being smooth, for trying to keep your lines as flowing and as continuous as possible. Don't be abrupt through the corners here. This car very nicely suited for that. Eighth gear, 310, 315, 320 clicks on the brakes. Turning's a bit better now that the tires are fully up to temperature. Nice 7th gear flat out through here. A little bit more MGU help. Little grass on the exit. No matter. There's 8th gear, up by 4/10 this lap. Keep your foot in it all the way through the corner. Bit of manual Curse deploy. Using up all the electricity. There goes 330 clicks. More recovery. Gotta start to manage the electricity now. Battery, charge a little bit in 8th gear. %100% on the recovery. Off the rear axle. Much out of electricity, and you can definitely see the lap time reflects that. Back to charge mode on the MGUK. We'll regen a little bit here down the straight. And we'll take a breather on this lap just to recharge things. You can definitely see there's easy speed here in the SF70H. It is an absolutely wonderful car to drive. It really is. I enjoy this car just as much as I enjoy VRC's already beloved McLaren MP420. It's on the same level in terms of the driving experience that you get. The performance through the corners, it's not quite as ridiculous as the MP420 simply because this car's got about another 100 kilograms of excess weight. But it's got 1,000 horsepower. It's got a great engine sound, I must say. I'm not the biggest fan of the V6 turbo hybrid era, I must say. V10's much more preferred in my book. But the performance is there, and at the end of the day, that's really what matters if you're talking about race cars, and this is definitely a race car. All the things you've got to manage on this car, the hybrid system, the DRS, your regen rates, your MGUH, all of that, it just adds to the sense of immersion. And of course, that's not unique to this car. That's just par for the course for any Formula One car these days. But Kunos did it in a works Ferrari, a current works Ferrari. And we all get to play with it as much as we want. That, to me, counts for something. And that, to me, means that I'm going to continue to run this car as much as I possibly can, and as much as all of you would like to see, because there is still potential for all of us in this car. Nobody on Earth, as far as I'm aware, has managed to make this car go as fast as it possibly can go here in Assetto Corsa, which means that there is still fun for us to have. There is still more for us to learn. There's still more lap records for us to challenge here in the SF70H. And that gives it great replayability, it really does. No, it didn't win the World Championship. No, it wasn't the best car of 2017. That honor, of course, goes to the Mercedes, but it's a Ferrari, and who doesn't love a good Ferrari? We don't need any more gas. Let's put the Ultra Softs on it. Let's dive into the pits here. Let's just go for maximum attack for a couple of laps. Be kind to these tires on the out lap. Don't want to knock the new out of them too soon. We've got all of our electricity recovered. Back to motor, set our deploy settings at the end of the lap. Balance tie, DRS, manual curves. Into turn one, braking as late as you dare. Second gear, keep the revs up, keep that turbo spooled up. Seventh gear, throw it in. A little bit of feathering needed there. Manual curves all the time. 8th gear, over the curves, on the brakes. Kiss the apex. Kiss this apex on the power. Little bit of back-end squirreliness. On the brakes. Downshift all through the corner. Trail brake on the throttle. Curves deploy. DRS, use the rest of the electricity. 8th gear. 118.65, not the fastest time in the world, but who really cares? Run out of electricity already. That's a sticking point, not just with this car, but with all the turbo hybrid era Formula 1 cars. They don't have enough boost to do a run of hot laps if you really want to. That's something that the FIA need to address with their regulations. That's not a Ferrari problem. .03. Very consistent tires, very consistent brakes. Great aero efficiency on this thing. Grip is phenomenal. Really does make you wonder what these cars could really do if we had refueling in Formula 1. Teams could make them with a bit shorter of a wheelbase, get them to bite into the tarmac a little bit better, make them a little bit more twitchy. That would be fun. However, what we've got here, it's brilliant. It's still brilliant. It didn't win the championship, but that's okay. Well, there it is, once again, the Ferrari SF70H, brought to us by Kunos. It's a current spec Ferrari Formula 1 car. That is the distinction that it will always have, even in 2018, because it came to the sim in 2017, and it is a 2017 car. Definitely, it is the coolest thing that has been added to Assetto Corsa in terms of native Kunos content, and I don't think that's going to change for quite some time. With the entrance of Alfa Romeo into Formula 1 once again, obviously we have a lot of Alphas in this game. Could we see an Alfa Formula 1 car at about the same time next year? It's altogether possible. Of course, I don't know the answer to that, but we can hope, can we not? That's probably going to be a cool car as well, if we do get it. But the Ferrari here, it's great. It's a works Ferrari, and if you love Formula 1, and certainly if you love Ferrari, you definitely have to love this car as well, as I very much do. It's been a staple in a lot of my videos, and it will continue to be so. There's nothing wrong with it. Absolutely not. It's a Ferrari Formula 1 car. It joins its rightful place with the F2004 and all of the other wonderful third-party Ferrari F1 mods that we have gotten, both of past and present machinery. So certainly, absolutely great job once again to Kunos for giving us this car. And I hope that the events in the real world have not spoiled anyone's opinion of this car, and it has not spoiled the reputation of this car, because it is still an absolute blast to drive, and certainly it shall remain so pretty much forevermore, I must say. Hot laps are to follow here from Mugello on low fuel and ultra soft tires, so do stay tuned for that. That's it for me in terms of the commentary, though. Thank you all very, very much for watching. FerrariMan601 saying thanks, and we will see you soon.